So I think that that's better. I can see you guys. Can you see me okay? Oof, I think that that's better. I hope that you guys can see me just fine. I don't see anyone in just yet. Um, but I'm just gonna start talking and hope that the you are live thing is real. So, oh, come on, internet. I don't know what's going on. Okay, we're just gonna roll with it. And if I have to redo it, I'll just redo it. So, welcome, welcome, welcome. My name is Stacey Flowers, and I am a student of Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University. I'm on a journey to become 100% debt free. And every single month before the month begins, I do a budget with me live, and this is it. So if you are joining me, I can't see you quite yet, but I'm excited that you are here. And my internet is just being a little bit wonky, so I'm going to give it time to catch up. In the meantime, in between time, if you can, please, please, please let me know what city, state, and country you are from. I would certainly appreciate it. I adore um, chatting with you all from all around the world. I think that this is like one of the most incredible things in all the land, that the internet allows us to be able to do that. I think also I heard something about YouTube creating a share button. So I don't know how that share button works, but if you know anyone who needs to complete a budget before the month begins, please share this with them, encourage them to come in um, so that we can do our budgets together. Because as you all know, I love learning out loud, and that is what this does for me. And I hope that it is incredibly helpful to you. So let's do a little bit of housekeeping. I wrote it down and I just don't want to forget anything. A little bit of housekeeping, and I just try to make a note about this. And as you guys are coming in, I can see your numbers. I just can't quite see your comments just yet. But as you guys are coming in, please let me know what city, state, and country you are from. Because I just think it's so exciting to have an international audience. It like literally blows my mind. How do I pull this up over here? But for housekeeping, I just always like to remind people that I am a student. I'm a student of Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University, and so this entire Budget with Me live is truly about me learning out loud. So I will make errors, and when you see them, I encourage you to correct me. I actually adore when you correct me live, because then I can go into the rest of the month knowing better in terms of what you will need in order to do the budget with me live. I have the Dave Ramsey budgeting forms. There are 4 forms. I highly encourage you to use these forms. Although if you're not using these forms, you really can use any of your budgeting templates. It'll just be, you'll just have to, when I'm doing one, you'll just have to think about the one that you're on. And so if you're interested in these forms, in the description box of any of my budgeting videos, there should be a link, and you can just click that link and you'll be able to download those right away. It's obviously not in this box because I couldn't do a description box for this video just yet because we are live. And you'll also need a little bit of patience. These videos typically run anywhere between 90 minutes and 2 hours, and that is because I'm literally doing my real life budget on camera. I'm also answering questions, and so just prepare yourself for that amount of time. I will be posting this on my channel, but what I hear from you all is that there's nothing like catching it in real time, because you definitely get to ask me questions, and I answer them and all that jazz. You will go over the shoulder when it comes to me actually doing my numbers, and so you'll just see the form format, which a lot of people have told me that that is very, very helpful to them. I enjoy doing that format as well. So after we do sort of just a bit of introduction, we go over the shoulder and you look at that format. The things that you will see over the shoulder are my income, my budgeted expenses, the 4 forms that I'm working with, and then we'll come back to the other side and I'll chat with you a little bit about your questions and whatnot. So there you guys are. I'm so excited. excited. I think my favorite part is always like the comments. I know that might be a little bit weird. Um, Sunshine Diva said, hey, good morning. Umi in the city, good morning, good morning. Lauren Allen, hi from London. So I like to document my countries, so I just put a little dash. Sunshine Divas from Houston, Texas. Houston, Texas is in the house. Good morning, Tinton Falls, New Jersey. Mind your business, 82. Brittany Hooker, perfect thing to watch on my Saturday morning coffee. I love it. I love it. Afternoon from London, Miss Virtue. Hi guys, I'm just super excited that you're tuning in from London. Liz Z from New York. Umi in the city is writing from New Orleans, but living in Philly by way of Brooklyn. I see you out here just all over the place doing amazing things in this country. I love it. Watching from Rosemont, Ontario, Canada, Brittany Hooker and Teresa. Good morning from Texas. Good morning, Teresa. You are always so wonderful in the comments, and I deeply appreciate like you being so thoughtful and being so curious and inquisitive in the questions that you have. Thrifty Simplicity, yes, you made it. So we tried, and the internet wouldn't let me be great. So now we're in here, and I'm so happy you made it. I was actually waiting for you to jump back on before I dived into anything because I saw that you wanted to be here today. Sailor Velvet at work in Houston, Texas. Yes, good morning. Glad to watch. I'm super excited. I love doing the Budget With Me lives. So, without further ado, let's get into it. And as you guys are coming in, just remember to write your questions, your comments, but also let me know what country, city, and state you are from, because I just love our international community. I think we're kind of amazing. I really do. So first things first, we're going to give you guys a high-level overview of what we're going to talk about in the numbers. So you all know that I set the intention to earn more money this month, and I did a lot of work toward that end. However, I did not reach that goal, and my income is still right around exactly where it was last month. It's increased by a couple $100s, and I just wanted to make a note about that. So my overall income from this month is going to be $1,750, and I believe last month my income was $1,500. So my income for this month is going to be $1,750. I had the intention to earn more money, but to specifically earn $10,000. And because I'm earning that in my company, I feel like I put in the work to earn the 10K, and it'll just be something that I begin to see residually as the months continue. And that's just something that's important because I don't earn my money from a already established company. It's a little bit harder to determine when like contracts will come in and when money and things like that will come in. But in another video, I talk in a little bit more detail about some of the things that I did to bring my income up to 10K. So even though my August anticipated income is $1,750, it's still a humble amount. I'm still reaching and moving towards that 10K goal. So in July, I was not successful in earning more money because the idea was to just get over $2,000 in July, but also the intention of reaching for 10,000. I did not earn that as well. And I'm sharing that because I want you guys to understand that, because somebody had put in the comments, they were like, everything you decide to do, it just happens. I'm like, no, I just decide to do it and I keep going after it until it happens. And so what I will do is shift that same energy and intention into this coming month. So the same exact intention that I had for July is the intention that I have for August, and that is instead of me just saying increase my income, I want to earn 10K this month. And so I'm excited about that. I'm excited about moving into August with a lot less cognitive dissonance, moving into August with a much clearer strategy in terms of how I can bring in that 10K. So that is my intention for August 2018. I'm trying to think if there was something else big that I wanted to share before we popped off screen. And I don't think so. So I'm going to turn you guys around and we are going to start working on the budget. Unless you guys have any questions. I'm just going to check really quick here to see if we have any questions. Okay, yes. So Sarah wanted me to mention the Budget With Me like coaching that I offered. So I believe in June I offered a little bit of coaching support for anyone who is interested in having a little bit more support privately around their budget for the month, and that is something that is available this month as well. It is a very inexpensive rate because I'm more so interested in supporting you to actually complete a budget, and I know the power of having a coach and just the power of having someone believe with you and the power of having someone go over the numbers with you. So that is something that is available. So anyone who's interested in me privately sitting down and chatting with them through their budget, helping them figure out what their budgeting philosophy is, going over their number and triple checking their budget with them, you're more than welcome to sign up at info@staceyflowers.com. Just shoot me an email, and in the subject line put money coaching or money talk, something like that. I'll respond and we'll set up payment and schedule your coaching. MMT said hi from South Africa. So exciting. What time is it in South Africa, you guys? Oh, I love you so much. Veronica Kilgore McAllister, so excited for you and your journey. You're inspiring. Thank you so much. Thank you, thank you, thank you. J Fair O'Air watching from Georgia. Hi, Georgia. Celeste, hello from London, UK. I got a lot of you guys from London today. That is exciting. Okay, so I'm going to throw you guys over my shoulder. It doesn't look like we have any questions, and we are going to dive into our budgets. So without further ado, let's do that. Claudette from Chicago in the house. This is so exciting. I forgot to have my music ready to go. I should sort of prepare that for you guys, so that way I would know that you guys had some tunes to listen to. Sorry about that. I still do not have a what is it called? A tripod. Naturally curly all my life. Hello from the Netherlands. Oh my gosh, you guys have no idea. This is literally the coolest thing in all the land. I kid you not. It's so cool. So cool. All right, so tell me, can you guys see the forms okay? Is everybody, if you can just put a 1 in the comments if you see the form, okay? And then we will start to fill them out. From Hengelo, the Netherlands, Peace Verdi Paz said hello from the Netherlands. I'm really bad at pronouncing things. All right, perfect. You guys can see it. I'm so happy that this is just working out super well. I probably should have put these in order a little bit for you guys, and I do apologize for that. I was, before we started the live, I was finishing the editing for a podcast that goes live just after we jump off of this video, and the podcast is a recipe for success and happiness, and I'm just super excited to get that podcast out. I was just like zoning in. I was zoning into just like doing it and sort of lost track of time. So I apologize for that. But there we go. All right. So the first budgeting form that we are going to work with is the quick start budget. And you guys will just let me know if you need me to move the paper around or anything like that, so you can see a lot more clearly. And from previous budgets, or if this is the first time, it says, Abby, hi Stacey, can you do a video about sticking to a plan when you are overwhelmed? Absolutely. I like that. I'm going to write that down. Sticking to a plan when you are overwhelmed. Yeah, absolutely. Let me know if I need to move this around in any way, shape, or form so it's easier for you guys to see. But we're going to start out with the quick start budget, and the quick start budget is the easiest way for us to get a high level overview of our 4 walls. And so to start this budget off, I told you that my anticipated income this month is going to be $1,750. You all know that when I did, or for those of you who saw the video, when I did my 6-month checkup, I realized that I was running a little short in my tithes. I am not going to go back to fix that. I'm just going to be very diligent moving forward. And so my tithes for $1,750 should be $175. So I just put that there. My emergency fund is fully funded, and so I don't need to add any funds to that. I'm not saving anything yet. I do have a sinking video coming up for you all that you will be able to watch, and where we'll talk about the things that I'm saving for, but I am not yet officially starting those in this month. My rent is $845. And then I don't have a second mortgage. I don't have real estate. Don't have repairs and maintenance. My renter's insurance is $5.75. Electricity. This category has actually, or utilities, this has actually changed. My electricity monthly budgeted amount is $25. My gas monthly budgeted is $25. And it doesn't have it on here, but so like this gas that's $25 is cooking gas. And I think last month maybe it was like $5 and some change. Now I understand why it was so low, because my gas bill for heating comes from a completely different source. And so I had received a bill, but I thought it was like a scam. And I just was like, I'm not paying this. And then I called my company and they were like, no, your cooking gas and your heating gas are different. And so I budget $25. It doesn't usually come up to that. I think this month it was like $10, but I'm just going to put that in there because that's what they told me my budgeted amount is and is supposed to be. And so I've only been paying for a couple of months, and I'd rather err on the side of caution than to have it be too low. So I'm just going to change this out to gas 2. And just for those of you who are curious, this one is cooking gas, this one is heating gas. And heating gas is pricier. It's $30 a month, which is really unfortunate because it's been super hot here and I'm obviously not heating my apartment, but the gas service is based on the entire building, and then they give you a percentage of the cost based on your square footage, and it heats the entire building, but I think it's just the central heating source in general. So I don't know if that's something that they can turn off or what. So if my next door neighbor uses a lot, I wind up having to cover some of those costs. So I don't know how to mitigate that yet, but if I figure it out, I will let you guys know. But I wanted to add that because that's a new utility that we haven't seen in the last couple of months. My cell phone bill is $35.82. My internet is paid through my business expenses, and then I don't have cable. Okay. Then I'm going to come up to food. The $50 grocery budget has been working just fine for me. So I will maintain that. I thought about increasing it, but it's not anything that I'm feeling stressed about. So I'm comfortable with maintaining this. Clothing for adult, I don't anticipate buying any clothes. My son starts school this month. He literally starts school in about 3 weeks. So I have 3 weeks to come up with some school money, some back to school money. So I'll just have to figure that out. I'm not going to put it here because it's not specifically clothing for his life. Like it's like back to school money. And I just feel like that's going to be a lump sum somewhere else. I don't have a car payment anymore, but I do spend about $50 a month on transportation. And then we come down here. My life insurance premium is $10.21. Health insurance has been changed again. I'm in a little bit of a dispute with my health insurance company. I misunderstood some of the things in my policy, and so we're trying to get that figured out. But in the meantime, I did cancel that policy. So I am uninsured right now, which is quite uncomfortable, and looking for insurance. The other thing, and I don't have my disability set up yet through my life insurance. That's something that I need to do this month. Sitter, entertainment. I think that's it. No. I bring child support into my 4 walls. So, and child support is 10% of my income, which would be $175, but minus my son's commission, because I bring that in, as well as my son's iTunes. So that's all right. So that's 114.31 in child support, $50 in commission, and then $10.69 in his iTunes. So this is my quick start budget. I'm just going to go through and put the totals in the total line to see what my total cost of my 4 walls will be for August 2018. So we have $50 0, 50, 175 plus 1021. And then it is 88.82. $850.75, 0, and then 175. Okay. So got my total. Now I just need to add everything up. 175. 850.75. 88.82 plus 50 plus 50 plus. I actually wasn't supposed to write that there. I'm supposed to write this here. So my total for walls for August 2018 is going to be $1,399.78. So this is essentially what I will be paying in order to just be secure this month. And again, this is the form that a lot of people want to skip because it seems like it's just a dupe of the next form that we're going to do, but this is so you can get a high level overview of what your needs are. I actually think that that's a better way to look at it. It's like this form, yes, it's your quick start budget, yes, it's your 4 walls, but it literally tells you what does it cost for you to fulfill your needs. And for me to fulfill my needs for August 2018, I need $1,399.78. Okay. So does that make sense to everyone? Does anyone need me to go over anything? Does anybody have any questions about the quick start budget? I will just give it a minute. It doesn't look like it. Just refreshing my screen a little bit. So we have 5 countries, including the United States, represented on our international budgeting call. This is so cool. Okay, so the next form that we have after we do our quick start budget, and I'm actually going to leave that over there because I'll need to reference it, is the monthly cash flow plan. And this is the form that outlines what you need and what you want. It's a very, very important form. And so it's actually 2-sided. Here's the first side, which looks very similar to my quick start budget with a few variations. And then here is the second form. The really big thing to notice on this form is that this form starts out with your income, which is a very important thing to do. For the most part, people who typically do a budget every single month, they're actually only completing this form. Doing it the Dave Ramsey style, we do all 3 and sometimes 4 forms. So I put my monthly take-home income up here, which is $1,750. And the reason that we do that is because we are wanting to make this a zero-based budget. So everything that we spend on this page and on the next page minus my income should equal 0. One of the reasons why people go into needing to use their credit card or their savings or things like that is because once they take all of their expenses and they subtract it by what money that they have coming in, they're over budget. And so then they're like, okay, well, how can I fix that? How can I make that even? And so we typically then spend on your credit cards. But the idea is that if you start out with your income, you'll be less likely to go over. You'll shift from a credit mentality into a let me manage what I have coming in, and then me managing what I have coming in. Anything else over that, I just won't take care of that month, or I will increase my income to be able to take care of it. So let's do the monthly cash flow. My tithing payment is $175. I don't do any charity or offering at this time, so I'll put $175. Again, I don't need anything for my emergency fund or any sort of savings at this time. My rent is $845. I don't have any repairs, maintenance, association dues. My electricity is 25. My gas is 25. My other gas is 30. My phone is 35.82, and that gets paid out of internet gets paid out of my business account. For groceries, I have a $50 grocery budget, not calculating clothes this month. For transportation costs, I just put 50 here, and that covers bus, Uber, any sort of way that I want to blend out spending that 50, so I don't have these other expenses here. And 50, the medication, doctor's bills, dentist, optometrist, vitamins. I don't have any of these costs, or actually yes I do, therapy. And I would like to go to therapy twice this month. It's going to be $140 for 2 therapy sessions. Then I go to my second form. And my life insurance, or the second side of my form, my life insurance is $10.21. Don't have health right now, $5.75. And then those are blank. Then under personal, where things get a little bit more detailed, I'm actually going to skip my personal and go over to my debt side, because I want to make a conscious effort to do more of the paying off of debts. And so because of that, I want to calculate the cost of my debts before I bring in some of my personal, because I do want to reduce those a little bit, or if I'm going to do my personal, I want to increase my income and allow my personal budget to come out of the increases that I have in my income. So I'm just going to add up my numbers really quickly just so I can see how much I have left over to put on debt, because repaying my debt has become a priority. You know what is not? So typically child support comes here and all that stuff, but I don't know if you guys remember a couple of videos back, I moved it up here. Hi Candace, just stopping by. I wish I could hang out with you today, but I'll watch later. Okay, thank you so much for your support. I appreciate you. I moved it up here because I wanted it to reflect the priority that it is. So instead of that being blank, I'm going to put in the other categories, which is child support, commission, iTunes, and those numbers are 1431 50 1069, and so this will be changed to 350. And the reason I put it under here, in the Everdell app, this is just called giving as opposed to charity, but I also just put it up here because these are my top priorities, and I want that to be reflected at the beginning of my budget. So that is why it's up there. So I'm going to re-add that up. 350 plus 845 plus 8.82 plus 50 plus 50. And I'm doing it this way because I really want to prioritize putting money on my debt. Okay, so that total comes to 1,539. My income $1,750. So I have $210.22 to put on debt. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give myself pocket money 1022 just to round out my numbers. And then I have $200 to spend on debt. So you guys know that my PayPal minimum is 15 and my City Girl minimum is 25. The IRS is still, there's one thing that's still pending. So I did hear you all on my debt repayment plan, but that is still pending. So we haven't set up payment arrangements or anything like that. I have not set up payment arrangements with my repossessed car. I also have not set up payment arrangement with BCD, and then my student loans are in deferment. So of the $200 that I have left over, it's incredibly painful, but according to the Dave Ramsey plan, I am supposed to dump the most of it on this PayPal debt, and I really, really want to do it on the City Girl, but I'm going to do it the right way. So I'm going to do my minimum here on City Girl of $25, and then I'm going to pay $175 towards PayPal, because I'm really trying to get that kicked out, like just to get it done. I would love to see my PayPal actually paid off this month, but again, that would have to be with me making some extra and above my $1,750. So that's what my cash flow plan looks like right now. If you look at these boxes right here, this is where you triple check to see if it's a zero-based budget. So I make $1,750. That's my income. Then I need to subtract all of the costs from each category. So I'm just gonna redo those numbers really quick, and if you guys have any questions, definitely leave them in the comments below. So 1,750 minus 175 minus 114.31 minus 50 minus 1069 minus 845 minus 25 minus 25 minus 30 minus 35.82 minus 50 minus 50 minus 140. I didn't do some math there. I didn't do some math right. Minus 1021 minus 575 minus 1022. Yeah, I messed up some math. I gotta go back and see where my math is messed up. There was a question on the table, said from Lori Rice, where's your health insurance? So I canceled my health insurance. We are in the middle of a dispute over some recent charges. You guys know in May I went to the doctor, and I went through all of the, in-network, all the things that I'm supposed to go through, but I still received a very significant bill. I'm not going to talk about it now because it's still being disputed, and so I'm currently seeking new health insurance, but I think I'm going to do a lot more research on health insurance before I before I sign up for any other health insurance, because I can't entirely blame that health insurance company because it wasn't their fault. Like they're not responsible for my ignorance or lack of knowledge. I'm responsible for reading the fine print of things. And so I say all that to say right now I'm in a dispute. Yes, thank you. I do think that it's $115.82 for my utilities. I was looking at that earlier. I'm like, I'm clearly missing a number because that's 50. I'm definitely missing a number. Thank you. And so because of the dispute, I am shopping around, but I'm shopping slowly so that way the next insurance that I sign up for, I'm able to maintain. And I'm really looking for a health insurance that I can maintain as an entrepreneur, right? Teresa, I do billing at my company. Oh, that would be amazing. We should definitely set something up. So Celeste and Anna, you guys helped me with my utilities. You're right. That number is wrong. So it was wrong on my quick start budget, and it was wrong on here. So I'm going to update that. And I need to change this number because that number doesn't reflect what my monthly costs are. So let's do 175. 175. And this is why I love this community, because had I been doing this on my own, I would have been searching for quite a while to figure out what that number is. So 1426.78 is the cost of my 4 walls. And now let's take my 1750 minus 350 minus 845 minus 115.82. And obviously I'm going to have to adjust what I am paying on my debt this month. So I'll make that adjustment when I get there. And then, okay, so the true number that I have left over is 183.22. So I am going to give myself, just to make, and I just do this to make my numbers round, 13.22. I do this to make my numbers round. That 13.22 means I have 170 left over. So that means this will be 145 and that will be 25. Okay, I am going to subtract my numbers one more time just to make sure that they equal 0. So 1750 minus 175 for tithes, minus 114.31 for child support, minus 50 for commission, minus 10.69 for Apple iTunes for my son, minus 845 for rent, minus 25 for electricity, 25 for gas, 30 for other gas. You guys can tell I still have a little bit. I said that's so evil. I'm grateful for my place. Minus 50 for food, minus 50 for transportation, minus 140 for therapy, minus 1029 for life insurance, minus 575 for renter's insurance, minus a little bit of pocket money just to round out my numbers. I have 170 left over. I'm going to put 145 on my PayPal, and then I'll pay my minimum of 25 on Citigirl, and that is 1750. So the thing that I love about this the most is that, first of all, I don't know if you guys can tell, but it's a little bit easier for me to move through the budgeting forms than it ever has been, and a lot of that just has to do with that this is the 8th month of this year that I've been doing a budget, and I cannot emphasize enough how important it is to just keep doing it. It's horrible in the beginning, but it matters so much, because this budget tells me that all I need to bring home is $1426.78, and I know that I've taken care of my financial responsibilities as a parent. I have tithe, I have the food that I need, I can get around, I have a roof over my head, I'm insured from a life insurance perspective. This quick start budget lets me know that I can literally secure my life for about $1426.78 this month. This budget tells me that I can secure my life this month, and I can experience the beautiful want and priority of therapy. And I talked a little bit about this. I did my 6-month checkup, and so many people were like, therapy is a need, therapy is a need. And you guys know I'm an advocate for therapy. I love therapy. But if I'm being honest with myself, therapy is not a need. It is a priority. It is a want and a priority. And I think that sometimes when we're doing our budget, we don't want to call something a want, because we feel like if we call it a want, then we can't do it. But the truth of the matter is that you can fund your wants. Like, you can spend money on the things that you want if those things are a priority. So therapy is a priority for me over this stuff over here. So over my toiletries, even though that's personal hygiene and household pantry for me, therapy is a priority over all of these other personal categories. So even though these categories and therapy are both wants, my priority for what I want is therapy. And I'd rather spend $140 a month on therapy than to get myself my personal hygiene budget of $50, to give my other things that I also really want, right? They're just not a priority this month, because I have enough left over from last month to carry me through this month if I'm a little bit conservative. So I just wanted to point that out because so many people were like, therapy is a need. It's like, no, these are the needs, and it's, it's a little rough to take that in. Therapy is a want, but it's a priority, and I'm happy that I can see the difference between my needs and my wants. And in me seeing the difference between my needs and my wants, I can clearly identify the things that I want to make a priority. So therapy is a priority this month over all my other personal stuff, as well as me moving forward a little bit more swiftly on my debt snowball, which is the reason that is 670, 170. As is me moving forward on my debt snowball, which is the reason why before I gave myself budget in this area, I calculated putting the maximum amount that I could put on my debts. And so with the base income that I know that I have coming in for August, and this is if I don't earn anything else, when I earn my 1750, I know that I'm moving along on my debt snowball, which is really important to me because if you guys watch my check-in, I learned that I had not paid very much on my debt just yet, and I am ready to like really get that snowball moving. So that is my quick start budget. Let me know if you guys have any questions in the comments. I'm gonna take a quick review, and then we will move on to the allocated spending form. So Peace Verdi Paz said, what if you find health insurance in August or the dispute ends and you want to reinsure? Shouldn't you calculate your fee and set it aside? I definitely should do that, but I'm thinking that my fee is going to be like somewhere around like $300 in order for me to actually get a quality health insurance. I would love for it to be around the 102.31 that I was paying before, but of the research that I've done so far, it's to get really solid health insurance. It's anywhere between like $250 and $400 right now. And based on my income, I know that I don't have that, which is another one of the reasons why I'm incredibly motivated to increase my income, because I understand that now that I can see my lifestyle without the drama and without a lot of the emotion, and I can see the difference between my needs and my want, I am able to comfortably be assertive and a little bit more strong-handed about increasing my income. And if I want to be properly insured, then I'm gonna be paying somewhere around $250 to $300. Now, the flip side to that may be that when I do that, I won't have to pay out of pocket for therapy, because the issue that I'm running into with insurance is that rarely any insurance covers pre-existing conditions, and therapy falls under pre-existing condition because it's ongoing treatment for post-traumatic stress disorder. And some people have suggested, why don't you just end that and then start over, and just start over as if you're just now being diagnosed with depression or anxiety or something like that. And the main reason why I won't do that is because I would be lying, and you guys know that lying is like my Achilles heel when it comes to money, and I don't want to lie about my money. I don't want to lie about who I am. I don't want to lie about what I'm doing. And so the rough part about it is in order to get really good health insurance coverage, it's going to cost me a mint. And I know that my income doesn't support the mint, and so it doesn't make sense for me in this month to try to put that in this budget, because I know my base income can't support that. Now, am I still shooting for earning 10K this month and, expanding my income so that way I can? Abso-freaking-lutely. And as that money comes in, I'll definitely update you guys. But that's the reason why I'm not sort of setting aside, because I don't have an extra $200 to $300 to set aside for that bill right now. So I hope that answers your question. Liz D said, I'm going to check out Lemonade Renters Insurance. My policy renews on the 20th, and I want to see Lemonade can do better. Yeah, I love Lemonade. So far, it was very easy to sign up for. And when I needed to add my son's birthday gift to my insurance policy, there was no issue with that being covered. So yeah, I really like it. I haven't tried to file a claim, so I like it just from its simplicity and ease of use. So far, so good. I would recommend it. The Janelli 24, new stubby, you are really young. What is the most of your overall debt. Most of my debt is student loans. I went to private colleges for undergrad and grad school. I was a first generation college student, and I was a mom. I started my first day of college classes when my son was 3 weeks. So I took out quite a lot of money, not really understanding the process. But even in hindsight, people ask me this all the time: would I do it all over again? And I would say absolutely. I really value education, and I feel like every dollar that I spent was worth it. I just wish I would have been more diligent post graduation and paying it off because the interest is kicking my butt. Um, Lori writes, "Oh, thank you." She sent $10. I appreciate that. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Teresa said definitely around 250 to 300 for decent insurance. Yeah, that's just is just something that I have to accept, and especially since my long term goal. Like I love my part time job, but my long term goal isn't to get employment, full time employment with an employer, and so I just need to expand and wrap my mind around getting health insurance as an entrepreneur, which will be quite a lot. Brittany Hooker, the health insurance stuff blows my mind. So scary. It's really that expensive for a normal doctor's visit or a checkup. Yeah, I don't want to share the numbers of the cost that I'm disputing right now, but it's significantly high, and it hurt all of my feelings when I got the bill in the mail because I'm like, no, I have health insurance, and I called you guys, and you said this doctor was covered, and it was a very sad couple of days, stressful couple of days, I guess. Louise said hi from France. Hello from France. Hello. I'm so excited. Bella 4148. Sorry to ask, but are you interested in working full time? You guys don't have to apologize for asking that question. I am not interested in working full time. And in part it's because my mental, emotional, and physical health is my priority. And the other part is because my long-term strategy is to rebuild my company, and I have the highest income potential in my company. And a lot of people would suggest that in the short term I invest my time now into working full time just to get my bases covered and sort of get some of the debt paid off. But I tried that before. This is my second time doing the Dave Ramsey plan, and I tried being gazelle intense through the traditional means of working full time, having a part time, also having a side. I tried all that, and I burned out really, 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 really bad. And I don't want to do that again. And what I'm finding is that investing in my mind is offering me the greatest return on investment. And it seems slow going right now, but it'll catch off like wildfire. And the comments will go from you're not making any money, because people sometimes are like, your income is ridiculous, blah blah blah, and they say it because it's so low. But there'll come a point in this journey where my company income will kick into consistency, and people will be like, your income is ridiculous. And so it's just about me. I've made the choice to be patient with my company as it's earning, and to use that as my primary source of income, and also so that I can maintain my mental, emotional, and physical health and well-being. If you go back and watch my videos from January, November, December, January, February, you can definitely see that I was still struggling with depression and anxiety at a very, very high rate. And I don't think mentally I would have been able to make it through a full work day somewhere where I was actually using my degree and earning a comparable salary to what I'm capable of doing. I wouldn't have been able to make it through the day with that sort of mental pressure and managing those mental illnesses. So really great question. I appreciate you asking. I said yes. I said yes. What is it like to be this poor? I don't consider myself to be poor. I think poor is more of a state of mind, more of a mentality. I will say there's something that is familiar about having this much of low income, because I didn't necessarily grow up with a lot. And there is also a feeling of relief that I don't have a lot of money, because I don't have to deal with what I used to deem as drama that comes with money. And again, I'm working on those mental thoughts, because I think that it's a ridiculous idea that people push the thought that more money, more problems. It's not true. More money, you have the exact same problems. You just have the problem of now realizing that money doesn't solve those original problems that you had. So, So yeah, so I just think poor is a state of mind, and I don't consider myself to be poor. My income is low, and I feel like maybe that was more the heart of your question. So it feels familiar. It feels easier, um, and uh, and it feels like I'm ready to move up from having a low income to having higher income. Thou US 13, it feels normal. I'm poor too. Money wise, I don't got much. Yeah, I would definitely shift out of the state of mind that you're poor and just poor. When I say it's a state of mind, like I don't. If you guys notice, I'm very mindful of my language. I never say I am depressed. I am whatever condition. I'll say my income is low because it's not about me. My income is low is not something that defines who I am. I am amazing. I am spectacular. I am divine. I am purposed. I am so many things beyond my income. And so I will give you a descriptor about my income, but my income will never be a descriptor about me, if that makes sense. Book Brittany Hooker, literally can't even imagine. I bring my kids to the doctor like every month. This is just something we have in Ontario. Yeah, your healthcare system is very, very different than what we have here in the United States. Only in the city. Thanks for doing this. I'm so ready to get back on top of budgeting and investing in myself. Yeah, just every single month, sit down and do it. It's going to suck. I highly encourage you guys to go back and watch my other videos so you can see how much it sucked for me. But it definitely gets better. Bella 4148, try working for a large hospital university system. The benefits are typically great in health insurance. Yes, I would agree. That when I worked for the university, because I used to work for a college, my health insurance was great. Anytime I work for a company full time, because of the positions I get, my health insurance is phenomenal. But again, my long term goal is to be a full time entrepreneur, and so I just want to bite the bullet and get my insurance through my my own. Claudette, great answer. Thank you. Thou is 13. As long as you're not poor in spirit, I would say poor in spirit, poor in mind. I would be neither. Stumbling journey to freedom. Words have power. Absolutely. Celeste, can you not ask your student loan companies to freeze your interest? No, I can't. I am out of the stage where they can freeze my interest, and that is very unfortunate. I will say I have a very, very low interest rate, which is nice. And one chunk of my loans is unsubsidized. I will say one thing, that if I could do it all over again, I would not have consolidated. I would have, knowing what I know now, I would have left them as individuals so that way it would be easier. The interest collected would probably be very similar, but it would be easier to mentally manage that process. Thou is 13, life is not all about money. I agree. That is the reason why I don't define myself based on my income or lack thereof. Give me 2 seconds. I need to plug in my iPad. Hold on. I'm going to do a coming up for you guys, and I hope that you enjoy it as much as you guys seem to be enjoying my everyday makeup routine. Okay, I hope you guys are seeing me. Can you see me? I am so sorry. My phone got really hot, but they're saying that they will be able to connect the streams. Um, and in the meantime, I'm going to hold my phone. Also, when we pop off of this, I'm going to see if I'm going to order a tripod, because the reason my phone gets hot is because I sort of just rig a contraption to hold it. But that's not going to work because it doesn't give it proper ventilation. So I do apologize for that interruption. I'm going to move toward the allocated spending forms so that way my phone doesn't do this again. So let's dive in to the allocated spending. I do apologize for the interruption and for the wobbliness. I am holding this in my hand because I need it to not be inside of my shoe, which is where it was before, because it got too hot. All right, so I get paid on the August 3rd, August 17th, and August 21st. Oh, is this a 3 paycheck? You know, I really should check that before we get started. All right, so this is actually a 3 paycheck month. I'm just gonna double check that just to make sure. So I did not get paid this Friday, so I get paid 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I do get paid 3 times. And I actually think I was supposed to put my income there. I do get paid 3 times this month. And so I will go back to the budget, and based on that additional pay period, I will make some changes. I apologize, guys. I definitely should have checked that before we got started. So before I make that change, I'm just going to fill in what I anticipate that being. So, all right. So my first paycheck is typically about $450 for my part-time job. My second one is a little bit more, at about $550, and then I anticipate from my company $750. And then that additional paycheck, which will technically runs like the first paycheck of the next month. But again, you guys know that I'm about managing the money that I have coming in that month. And even though this is the 31st, and I could just say, oh, whatever, that's really money that I'll spend the following month, I don't want to lie about money. And the truth is, this came in this month, and I want to honor the money that I have coming in every single month, no matter what day it comes in, by telling it where to go. And so that would be a first paycheck. So that would be around an additional $450. Hi, Claudette. I'm happy that you were able to jump back in. Yes, it's a 3 paycheck month. I didn't realize that. So that additional paycheck will be about $450. So when I come back to my quick start budget, this budget is unaffected by my additional pay period. And the reason it's unaffected is because this budget is a reflection of my needs and my 4 walls. And my needs don't change. Dang it, yes they do, up here. My needs don't technically change. My needs don't technically change as my income changes, with the exception of my tithes and my child support. Because you guys know that I want my tithes and my child support to be 10% of my income. So $1,750 plus $450 equals $2,200. Equals $2,200. So then my tithe is going to change to $220. My child support becomes and this, my friends, is why it's important to write your budget down. Sorry, I don't have my other hand free. And then 50, and then 50, and then 1069. Now, for those of you guys who are not doing a child support percentage base or tithing or giving percentage base, this, you receiving an extra pay period, if you made the mistake that I made, this number shouldn't change, because these are just needs. Mine changes because my tithing and my child support are based on a percentage of my income. So my new total here is different. So we're going to grab that. All right, so my new total for the month is 1,506,557. So $1,506.57 is my new four-wall total, and that's only because my tithing and my child support are based on a percentage of my income. So so then after I update my quick start budget, I need to update my monthly cash flow. But again, we don't have to make dramatic or drastic changes because my priorities are very clear, right? I need to update this to reflect my 10%. And this number, these totals here. Oops, that could have stayed 50. 159.31 is really the only change. That stays the same. So really it's 350 plus 90. So this total changes to 140. And I know that looks a little bit sloppy, but it's worth it to have the actual numbers listed. And then my income changes to 2,200, and I want that reflected up there. And a lot of people might say, you know, why take the time to change that? Like, you just know. And the thing of it is money goes where it's managed. And if you don't have the interest or the stamina or the ability to go back and change a couple of numbers on a piece of paper as you realize that more money is coming in, you're going to be hard pressed to hold on to money because you're not prioritizing it enough to say, you know what, more money has come in, let me reflect that in my numbers. If you're, I tell people often, you know, how you do one thing is how you do everything. And if I were to be dismissive and like, oh, you know, that 450, I'll do it next month, I'll, you know, blah, blah, blah. One, that's a lie because that money came in this month. And two, it's lazy. And I don't want to be lazy about my money because I know that money goes where it's managed. And even it's as simple as you guys seeing my income increase a little bit over time. So that has been updated. I'm going to go ahead and update things. Have to update things down here. This is 220 or 2,200 here. So now the thing that I have to do after I made the adjustments to my needs, now I need to show the reflection of where I'm going to spend the rest of that money. And so what's left over after I made those minor adjustments is $360. And you guys know my priority is my debt. And so I am going to, I can't see that. Okay, there we go. I am going to come over here to my debts and reflect that. So that was 145 and 25. So I am going to take, okay. All right, guys, I need your help. I would love your way. And what I would love to do is take that 360 and add it to the 145 and potentially pay off my PayPal. But I feel like because this check is coming at the end of the month, but it will really reflect costs that show up in the next month, that maybe I should spend some of it on those couple of first week bills that come in. But also, you guys know that I'm technically a month ahead on everything. So I do have 2 full paychecks that come in September that would be able to cover September expenses. So I would love your suggestion. What do you guys think? Celeste says, hey, Stacey, don't you put your third paycheck towards the following month to cover bills early in the month? Yeah, I don't, I think that you guys have a little bit of a delay, but I don't necessarily have to do that because I am technically a month ahead on all of my bills. So I don't, when I pay bills, it's not like, so for example, when I pay my rent this month, So the rent for, what is this month? This is July. So I've already paid my rent for August. So this rent payment in August is actually paying for September. So I don't have like a new rent bill at the beginning of the month, if that makes sense. I'm a month ahead on everything. Survivor tribute videos. You're such a nice person. It's inspiring. Thank you. Thrifty Simplicity said, use it the same month it comes in. Claudette said, knock it out, girl. I know, right? I'm so nervous. I'm so like, I feel like that's just what I want to do. Like, yeah, if you're already a month ahead, you can put it into savings. So Bella 4148, I actually, because I'm doing the baby step program, my emergency fund is fully funded, so I don't have to. I don't actually, in order of the steps, don't add anything else to my savings. The focus is to shift into snowballing. You guys in PayPal, I love y'all. Like this is, oh my God, I'm so nervous. So let's say if you don't need it for bills, put it on debt. You're right. You're right. Oh God. Okay. I'm all right. All right. I'm gonna do it. So I think my PayPal balance. So the 145 that I have 360. Okay, hold on. Let me. So originally I was gonna put 145, and there's 360 additional. I believe my PayPal balance is under that. So can you guys give me just 2 seconds to figure out what my PayPal balance is? Everybody's like, pay it off, pay it off. But isn't it super awesome? Like I went from, I don't know how many of you guys saw my budget review, but I literally went from, oh, I paid under $200 toward my debt this month, to the possibility of actually being able to pay off a debt this month. Like, this is what I mean when I say, like, take the time to write stuff down. It doesn't seem like you're making forward progress. It doesn't seem like anything is changing, but I promise things are changing. And the way that Dave Ramsey expresses it is, he's just like, I feel like after people do a budget, they always say, I feel like I got a raise. And the reason for that is because you really do have a lot more control over your money, and the management really does empower you to do stuff. Like, for example, the only reason why I am current on everything / a month ahead on everything is because of me doing a budget, right? The oh no, what's my PayPal password? It's because of me doing a budget. And if I had not done a budget, then I wouldn't have. I think in one of my videos, you know what? It's on my computer. Okay, give me another couple of seconds, guys. I'm gonna put some music. I'm just trying to find my PayPal numbers, just so we can know exactly what. You guys are so funny. Pay it off. I love it. I love it. This is why community is so important, because you see me all over here doubting myself, trying to drag it out, and you guys are like, no, if you are current, pay it off. And it's just like, you're right. That's what should be done. So let me pull this up on my computer. I'll give you guys just a little bit of music here in the background. What is my number? Sorry, the music didn't come on. The internet just does not want to let me be great today. I don't know what's happening with that. Okay, so what does it say? All right, so my debt snowball, or excuse me, my PayPal balance is is $453.07. So I do 145 plus 360. All right, so that leaves me 5193. Okay, so then I would put the 450, that's a different pin, $453.07 on my PayPal, and then left over, um, still from that third paycheck would be an additional $51.93. And okay, with that $53.91, what say you do I pull that back over into my personal, give myself a little toiletries and whatnot with the 50 bucks, like personal hygiene stuff, or do I keep it concentrated on my debt and just add the 51.93 to my city girl? What do you guys think? What's the fee? Do it in this, so you go paid off. Did it last month and I feel so good. Yes, wake up call was effective. So excited. Thank you for letting us know on the journey. This is step by step. So Anna Young, you're very welcome, Anna. I'm sorry. I'm so happy that you're enjoying it. IU presents scarcity is dead to you. Abundance has clarity and confidence just like the gazelle. Yep. Anna Young, split it, thrifty city girl. Put 25 on city girl and treat yourself a little. Celeste. Maybe 30 in personal and the rest in city girl. Yeah, it's definitely a decision. I like that idea of doing, how about we will take city girl up to 50, so we'll make city girl the 25 that I normally pay plus 25 and just make that an even 50. And then I have 26.93 and I can bring that over to my personal hygiene. How do we feel about that, guys? Treat yourself a little. I think it's tread a bubble. I hear what you're saying in the treating myself a little, but I have become so in love with my budget that it actually, when I'm managing my money and I'm able to pay for all of the things that I want, it really does feel like a treat for myself. And I know what you mean, like, do something a little more, a little extra, but like what really feels a little more, a little extra to me right now is crushing as much of my debt as I possibly can. Cause I say that to say, like, I live a very, simple, peaceful life, and there's a lot of treat in that for me, right? My company is running quarter time, it's profitable. I work part time, and I earn enough money to cover my four walls. And so I know what you mean by treat yourself, but I don't think this is the moment just yet. There will be a moment, and I'm not trying to be too hard on myself, but I don't know if this is the moment. I really just want to focus on like getting that done. So in addition to earning 10K for August that I'm still pushing towards and expanding my paradigm, we know that PayPal will be paid off this month. And who's excited about that? I'm excited about that. 30 Simplicity said, okay, that's fair. Laura Rice, personal. She said, put in personal. Claudette, keep it on your debt. Stop playing. Stacey left. I know, right? Okay, you're right. Oh, God. You're right. She's right. I gotta stop playing. Listen, when I was making less, I was totally fine pushing through this month. You are right. You need to stop playing. Okay, so that will be 76.93. Yes, you are right. Stop playing. Thank you. You guys, this is so intense. I would love, like, how are you guys doing? See, what I love about this is literally like the first 6 months was me really just establishing the foundation, and now doing this debt snowball. Like, this is intense. Like, this is some serious, like, where the rubber meets the road, where you got to look in the mirror and be like, is this a priority or is it not a priority? Where are the sacrifices, if any, that you're gonna make? And that feels intense, but it feels also awesome at the same time. So we are gonna put the extra that's not really extra, and I don't want to use, let me not use that term extra, because it's not extra. We are going to put the money earned from the final paycheck in August toward debt, because I am current on all of my expenses and therefore can use the 2 pay periods that I have in the coming month to actually cover those costs. And I don't have to have a certain amount of money in my account that first week to cover any upfront costs. So IU presents monkey in the middle, fair enough. Anna Young, good choice. Congrats on knocking out your first debt. You're on your way. Umi in the city, if you're sure you don't need it, it will feel really good to pay it off. Yes. IU presents huge accomplishment paying off PayPal and upping City Girl debt and being a month ahead. Yay. Tread a bubble. It's great that you are knocking out the first debt. Well done. Whoop whoop. IU presents. Yes, she's doing well. Like, this is so intense. I'm super pumped. Like, can you guys believe that? Like, man. And what's super awesome about that is I'm still doing that on a very humble income, which I think, oh my God, oh no, okay. I was looking at that and I was like, wait, I forgot to calculate. I'm still doing it on a humble income, which just reminds me that it's not just about how much money you make. It really is about how you are managing the money. So, all right, I'm just going to re-add the numbers up just real quick, just to make sure we get 0 over here, because you know it's income minus expenses. So I'm just going to add those up quickly. Then we're going to fill out the allocated spending. So 448.45. Claudette says, stop playing yourself. Stop playing, Stacey. You are right. Oh my God. These decisions are like, community is awesome. I need to figure out a way to thank you guys. I don't know how to thank you guys enough, but you just make me so happy. You just really do. All right, boom. Look at that. Look at that. Yes. Yes, and it equals 0. Who's excited? I'm excited. Haven't even sent the money and I feel amazing so far. That's how you know you're making the right choice, because even though it kind of sucks to think about it, when you actually like write it down, because what I'm writing, I'm doing, feels so good. Yes, and I will definitely do some sort of coming back on to like when I finally like pay off that first debt, because that's going to be amazing to pay off my first debt on my humble income, and a month after me deciding to shift my focus and my priority to it. Just so stinking excited. So let me see, is that knocking out your first debt? Well done. I give myself allowance of at least 50 euros. Sometimes unexpected can come up, like forgetting your bus pass or need to buy feminine products or whatever. Just don't leave it safe. Yes. And if you guys know, I use fairly round numbers. So like 450, 550, 750, 450. My business income is the only income that this round number is really what I'm going to receive. Typically with my, my part-time income, it'll be like 456.82 or maybe 464.97 or something like that. So there is a little bit of a built-in like just in case, but that built-in just in case is about a $5 to $10 difference. And I think before, when I started this, I would give myself like a $50 to $100 just in case, and I don't want to have any just in cases that are in between 50 and 100. I like the 10 to the 5 to 10 that there's a little bit of flexibility, because this might be $575 or something like that, if that makes sense. But I totally understand what you mean when you say that. Remember this day, how great it feels to prepare yourself for. Yeah, IE presents. You're right. Like, this is why you got to do the decimal walk. This is why you got to pay off that small debt first, too, because you guys know that was a struggle for me, too. I really want to get rid of City Girl, but, you know, at the end of August, it's just amazing. I'll just have City Girl, okay. Not just City Girl, but that'll be the next one I can focus on. It helps to not gum out a budget in minor emergencies. I don't know what that word means. Congrats, zero-based baby. Yep, Anna Young is zero-based. I presents, it's not impossible. It just takes intention and intensity. Agreed. Like, that's all this is intention, right? Like, every time I show up, like, I'm showing you what I intend to do, and I am stretching and reaching and striving for that every single month. So now let's do the allocated spending. So what I find is that I really like taking care of my child support with my first pay period. I just like knowing that I am doing what I set out to do as a mom. And so I'm going to change this, because you guys know that I want this to be reflected as a priority. So it's going to be up here, and I'm going to put C for child support, C for commission, and I for iTunes. So CCI is child support, commission, and iTunes. Commission is just my way of saying allowance, and the iTunes is because that's what I do for my son. I'm just going to leave that as one line so my thing doesn't get super, super sloppy, and I'm going to put that amount in here. So that's 220. And then also I want to pay my tithes because that makes me feel amazing. So, oops, dang it, and I still put it in the wrong one. So much for simplicity. So actually that goes over here. 220 minus 450 leaves me 230 left over, then minus 220 leaves me $10 left over. I'm sorry, that's a little bit sloppy, guys. Leaves me $10 left over. And so I am going to take that $10 and roll that into my, what do I have, 1322 of pocket money. I'm just gonna let that $10 hang out in my checking account and roll that over into next month instead of allocating it. So my first pay period is dedicated to my child's and my child support. And I literally, like, moving forward, just want that to be a habit. Even when I'm paying myself as an entrepreneur, that before I pay anything else, that first paycheck goes to what is my true priority, which is taking care of my son and honoring my faith and spirituality. So then coming over into my next month, the next thing that I'm going to take care of, so that would be the 17th. And it's mindful for me to think about that because that would mean that I wouldn't be grocery shopping until the 17th because I wouldn't get another paycheck. And I am okay with that. I'm going to have to do some planning, some very intense planning. But this month is, I'm willing to be intense this month because I really want to push through in shifting my priority. So that would mean I would need to do 14 meals, about at least 14 meals based on what I have left. Actually, I'm going to take this $10. I'm going to take this $10 and put it towards a little bit of groceries because that will be the only thing that would be able to carry me with what I have in my cupboards and carrying me into this paycheck, but not going to the grocery store. I'll need a little bit of money. So I'm going to do 10 of my grocery budget here. And that leaves me a remaining of 0. So I'm going to cross out all these boxes because I don't want to be confused. None of that is going to come out there. All right, so so that would be my priority, and then a little bit of food so that I can get through those 2 weeks is something to focus on. So then my next paycheck, I want to set aside I want to set aside no, I don't, because I want to get my rent paid before that. My next pay period, I really want to crush my I want to crush my debt. I want to be heavy-handed on that. I really, really want to be heavy-handed on that. I'm just thinking through. My electricity bill comes out on the 22nd. My phone bill on the 25th. Therapy would be between this week, so I would have to allocate for at least one therapy. So right now what I'm doing, guys, is I am this is the allocated spending is the budget form that you use to tell your money where to go, when to go there. So from what pay periods is money going to be moved around. And my top priorities for this month are honoring these commitments up here and crushing my debt And so out of my first pay period, I'm going to do that, get a little bit of food. Then out of my second pay period, I'm going to get the rest of my food. So let me put that on there. Because it's just so much easier for me to have all my food at the beginning of the month. So minus 40. And then after that, I am trying to see if I have any expenses that come out between this date and this date. And I feel like I know that I will at least have one therapy session come out between that date and this date. So I'm also going to put therapy here. And then I will, when is my life insurance? My life insurance is on the 24th. So I'm also going to do my life insurance. Because that will come out between then and then. And I really just need to check for between the 17th and the 21st, actually, so that, because that comes on the 24th, I won't need that there. Because I'll get another paycheck by the 21st and I can allocate stuff out of that. So I want to pay for one therapy, the rest of my grocery budget, and I think a little bit of transportation to come out of that budget also. I'll do about half my transportation budget at the beginning. All right, so 14.15 will be left. So let's see, 550 minus 40 minus 25 minus 70. All right, so out of that second pay period of 550, I will have, after I take care of the rest of my grocery budget, a little bit of transportation and one therapy session, I'll have 415 left out of that budget, and I want to put that on my PayPal. So let's PayPal here. I'm just going to cross this line out because remember that's my first pay period. So I'm going to put 400 on my PayPal, and then I'm going to take that other 15 that I have left over and go ahead and give myself my pocket money too. So I'm going to put that there. So now I'm going to do my math. And this one is the complicated one because again, it's telling your money where to go. So I anticipate 550 from that pay period. I don't have any expenses coming out on this side. So out of this pay period, I'm going to pay the rest of my groceries. I'm going to pay a little bit towards my transportation. I'm going to go to therapy once. I'm going to pay, oops, it's in the wrong column. And actually, I'm supposed to be filling in these numbers, aren't I? So when you do this form, you take your income and then you subtract it and then you put your remaining balance next to it. So 510 will be left after I paid for my groceries. Then 485 after I do a little transportation. Then 415 after I do a little bit of therapy. Then 1322, 401.78. That's not right, I don't think. Okay, this. So then 401, and then of the 401, I will put 400 here, and I'll have 178 left. And that 178 I will carry over into my next paycheck. Yeah, the allocated spending, it doesn't feel like it's awesome to do, but it's really the one that really does the most work. Highly recommend that people do it because it really just supports you in really seeing what you're doing. All right, so Liz Z said the allocated spending helped me to stop using my, were you gonna say debit card? My savings to float it. Thanks for this. Yeah, to stop using your savings. Yep. Agreed. So then my company will pay me $750. I am going to put these bills are going to be coming out of that. So let me add those bills here. I know for sure they will. 215, 30, and then 35.82. Because that's the 21st. The other thing that will come out of that is going to be my life insurance. My life insurance will come out of that, and also my renter's insurance will come out of that. And then I will also finish off my city girl. Or not finish off, but go on and put my payment on City Girl out of that. That's $76.93. And then the rest that I have left over, I will put that. Nope, I'm also going to do a little bit of transportation. So then the rest that I have left over, I will put towards my rent. So let's see, what do we have here? 750 minus. All right, 27 left. Let's do one more time. Yeah, knowing where your money is going and when it's going there is a game changer. Minus 76. All right, so then that leaves me with 516.29. 516.29. So I just really like working with rounder numbers. So I'm gonna pay a portion of my rent of 515. Then I'll pay the rest of that on my last paycheck. Okay, so let me subtract that. So when my company pays me minus all right, so then I will have, all right, so I have $1.29 left over, and I'll just leave that in my checking account to carry over. And then with my last paycheck, oh, well, let me actually put my numbers connected to here. So 750 minus 515. More 9.18. Okay, so that equaled So then come to my final paycheck of $450, and paid $330 on my rent. That will need to be taken care of. I will do another therapy session. And I took care of all my gas, all my food. Insurance, health insurance. I think that might be. Is there something that I'm missing there? $50 somewhere that I'm. Oh, the remaining balance for my PayPal. Yeah. And it's actually going to be the 5307, which, okay, so that would be the remaining balance, so that's 400. So in the last paycheck, it would be 5307 to pay that off. All right, so let's do my final number. My paycheck on the 31st, 450 minus 330 equals 120. Then I will pay for my second therapy session. And then I'll come here. And if you notice, after so pay for my second therapy session, there will be $50 left over. And if you notice, this is 5307, but there's only $50 left over out of that pay period, but these numbers carried over from change left over, and that's, I'm hoping when I add that together, that will be enough for me to pay the full 5307. Look at there. This is the first time that I have ever done this budget and these numbers have come out this clean and this clear. This is just amazing. Like, I typically always have to go back over it and do it again, and I don't have to do it this month, and every single thing is taken care of. This is so awesome. So I'm going to turn you guys around. If you have any questions, just feel free to ask them now. I'm just going to set up and turn you guys around. I'll answer those, and then we will close out the call. Oh man, this is just a wonderful, wonderful month. Here I am, huffing and puffing about wanting to earn more, which is definitely important. I feel so good. Feels so super good. I've done that. Oh, I actually do need my iPad for questions. Okay. All right. So we are back. I'm hoping that you guys can see me. Sorry. Definitely need to invest in a tripod thing, which I will do. So something that I mentioned at the top of the hour that you did not see reflected in my budget, for those of you who have been watching, is I talked about my son starts school in 3 weeks, and so there is a need for things for him for this month, and I want to do every single thing that I can to take care of those, but I communicate and I talk to my son's father, and so they are very aware of the journey that I am on, and in their awareness of the journey that I am on, we are having a honest conversation about what we can do in terms of school. Now, there's what I want to provide for my son when he goes back to school to start his junior year. You guys know I have the intention to increase my income. When that happens this month, that money will go there. The reason I didn't complete the irregular income for spending is because because I'm holding in my mind right now the priority of paying off my debt, what I found last month is that irregular income for spending had me like, it's almost like I was holding two different I was trying to focus on two different things that are actually at the opposite end of each other. So if you think about it, it's kind of like when you're trying to pay off debt and save at the same time, you usually never really do either one of them with 100% gusto. And so rather than me setting aside and saying, okay, if you make 1,500, you're going to do this and you're going to do this, it's just like when I make that money, I will come back on and I will do another thing and talk about where I'm spending that. But I really need my focus to be like so narrow and so crystal clear this month on increasing my income and just prioritizing paying off my debt that I only want to think about the $2,200 that I know for sure is coming in this month, and then the intention of earning. So that is the reason why I didn't do an irregular income for spending, and that is the reason why I didn't place any of the costs for my sons going back to school in my budget, because the truth is that based on where I'm at financially, based on the difference between wants and needs, although I would love to do the most for my son to go back to school, that is a want, and it is not a want that I am prioritizing right now over the other wants that I am prioritizing. So I'm hoping that that makes sense for why that's not there. And again, I didn't fill out the irregular income for spending because it's literally too much conflicting information, and I just need things to be very, very clear this month, because this month is going to be intense, and I want to be prepared for that. So I'm going to come over here and answer your questions, and then we will jump off. First, IE presents first things first. IE presents that is one reason to be ahead a month in terms of rent and bills. Yeah, it is, because I'm ahead a month in bills, I can do my tithes, I can do my parenting responsibility, and when I do start saving again, I'll be able to save. And I think that typically what most people do when they're budgeting is if they pay tithes, it's last. If they save, it's last. And if they are, and this is not, obviously when your kids live with you, the rent, the light, all of that stuff contributes to them, but setting aside a specific amount for your child via allowance or commission or anything like that, like we typically deprioritize that against all of our other expenses. And the person that I really want to be is the person who pays the things that I want to pay first. And I'm super grateful to be shifting into that space. And again, that wouldn't have happened if I wasn't doing a budget every month. That wouldn't have happened if I wasn't able to save my emergency fund last month. There's so many things that wouldn't have enabled this to be able to happen, but because I did this in the order that Dave Ramsey suggests, I am becoming the woman that I always dreamed of financially. And so yeah, it really does make a difference. Teresa, debt. Anna Young, do you want to split your tithe? That way there's a balance for your groceries. Just a suggestion. No, I just want to let it be intense. I really felt some type of way about my tithe not being where I wanted it to be. And that's something that's important to me. So and I think what happens is I was splitting it, right? And in me splitting it, it just wasn't getting paid the way that it was supposed to get paid. Because if you think about it, let's say I pay my tithes of $220, and let's say my income is less than that, right? Because sometimes that happens. I work part-time, so potentially it could be a difference. I still want to have that tithe payment there because it's me exercising my faith. It's me honoring what I believe in, and yeah, so yeah, no, because I think that's where I messed up before, is that I would definitely adjust every single time money came in, and it just didn't shake out properly at the end of the wash. There's something green that came up. Is that pounds? Did somebody pay me in pounds? I love you guys. Somebody sent $4.99. It's in like a seafoam green. I love you guys. This is so awesome. I love you guys. Thank you so much. I can't see who sent it. I just see that it's there. Maybe the name will show up a little bit later. IE presents as smart. Do it. Teresa, yes on all your debt. Anna Young, oh, never mind. I see what you did. Smart. Oh, thank you. Okay. Peace. Congrats congrats you rule. Liz, allocated. Yep. Okay, I read that one. It says, 11 phase 11, how much for groceries? I spent $50 for groceries. So the first week I'm going to spend about, the first 2 weeks I'm going to spend an additional 10, which means I'm just gonna, I mean, I have a little bit left over, but I'm just gonna push through that little bit that I have left over, less fresh veggies and whatnot, but I'll be fine. It just won't be as tasty as I would love for it to be. But I'll feel good on the back end and moving into September having, have my PayPal paid off. Joey Black said hi. To Rhonda Willis, hi Stacey, I'm so excited seeing you make so much progress. I am encouraged to tackle our August budget. Yeah, it's amazing what happens when you write stuff down. I'm telling you. Okay, here it is. So Celeste, not a lot, but something for your son to go back to school. I'm 22 and not studying anymore. Oh, thank you so much, Celeste. It is more than enough. It is a beautiful, generous gift. Thank you so much. IU presents it. That's very sweet. Patricia Wolf, I'm right there with you. I just completed my budget and balanced my account, and it feels great now. Yeah, it's the first time I've made it through an allocated spending with it being balanced. And I think that that's one, because of the practice, right? But two, I think it's because I'm a lot less emotional about my numbers now because I released all those emotions that were blocking me, and I'm very clear on my wants versus my needs. And in me having clarity around that, I'm not trying to allocate for so many wants that is like messing with my numbers. So yeah, I'm very excited about that. Rebecca said, well done. Thank you. Thrifty Simplicity, me too. I balance along with Stacey too. Thank you. Um, oh no, don't apologize for the pounds. The pounds make me feel so international. They make me feel so fancy. I love them. I love it. I love it, love it, love it. I appreciate you for, joining in the live and feeling compelled or feeling inspired to contribute to my journey and just for supporting my work. So yeah, pay me in whatever denomination you want to pay me in, because I love to think about the translation and all of that. It just really, like, a part of my vision is very much a global international appeal. So it just warms my heart and confirms to me that no matter what your circumstances are, they're not you, and you get to be you no matter what your circumstances. Because I would argue that most people looking at my circumstances would probably use language like, you don't deserve this, or it's not right for you to be doing what you're doing. But it's like, the purpose that I have, I am who I am, right? Like, and in me being who I am, regardless of my circumstance, it results in me also being able to execute on the vision that I have for my life, which is to be international. And so your pounds remind me that I am definitely honoring my vision. So I appreciate you, and I appreciate all of you guys. That is the budget that we have for August 2018. Is there any other questions before we wrap up? Morning Glory, I found you yesterday and have been binge watching your videos for hours. It's awesome to have seen you live in my recommendations. Well, I'm so happy that you're able to catch me live. I love this stuff. You guys have, I don't know how to explain it to you, but I love it. You have no idea. No idea. I love you guys. So after the call, I'm actually going to the beach to do a little bit of exercising, but mostly just like laying around reading today. After I post my podcast. Yes. Thrifty Simplicity, thanks for the motivation to get my budget done. I value these live videos. I appreciate you. I'm so glad you value them. Jessica Foster said hello from Canada. So, represented today, we had 7 countries, including the United States of America, which is amazing. Like, what land do I live in that there are 7 countries represented on a Saturday morning with different time zones, from Canada to London to Africa to New Orleans to New York to Texas. I love you guys. To Chicago. I love each and every single one of you, and I Hong Kong. That's exciting.